look at that kid. Oh, it's got to be a parody. It's got to be a parody. You look at me. Look how far I went. I was Doctor Who. I wonder if Star's German wife informed him that sausages aren't kosher. Well, probably not. Although, from what I understand, she has a lot of non-kosher things in her mouth, right? They don't have the most traditional marriage, what I understand, right? And they use that flat for some weird sex reason. I don't know what that is. But, I don't know. There's some, don't go around Lord Alice flat with one of those UV lights. It'll gross you out. You won't believe what you will see, right? You'll be like, oh my God, that's Inhuman and Evil. Inhuman and Evil. Oh man, hang on. I got to, where's this thing? I got to check the time on this now. There you go, over here. Press that, hang on, there. Get rid of the sound so I don't play it over here. Hang on. I completely lost where I am. Okay. Fine. Just had to check that. And about half an hour. Okay, so I probably won't be getting to that today. Fine, where was it? Eki Ambassador. I know. It's hilarious, right? It's literally hilarious. Oh, 1 second. What's this? It's not a parody. What is this? 1 minute in. I know. I was just sent something. Got some video. Is that video of it? Oh, yes. It's downloading. Okay, I think we're going to have to look at this more than once, right? I think this goes to the top of the Doctor Who news, don't you? The Yorkshire house will have you longing for home time. Get me out of here!
Got that back to school feeling? Well, this September, get ready for the excitement of home time. Enter the Omaze £1 Million House Draw
What's home time?
Yorkshire, supporting MenCap, because one guarantee.
No, that's good. 1 minute in, apparently. Like I'm here because we couldn't afford Jodie Whittaker. That's how shit this is.
While taking in this incredible view. Or you could rent the house out or sell up and walk away a multi-millionaire.
Oh my God.
Jasper won his dream car. And if you enter all this week, you could too.
And here's the best part. You'll be supporting MenCap.
Here's the best part. Keith Thump. Jodie Whittaker, MenCap ambassador. Oh, fuck me, this is awesome. Tell me more about the best part, Jodie.
You'll be supporting MenCap to break down barriers so people with a learning disability are seen for all that they are and all that they can be.
Yeah. You kind of fit just seamlessly into that. You were the retarded doctor, so I can see that's why you're at home with your peeps.
Together, we can make a real difference.
Yes, we might be able to paint a house, or at least the door.
So for your chance to win this beautiful house in Yorkshire,
worth over £2.5 million.
And
really? £2.5 million for that? I mean, one would sort of think location, but really? And Icky, look, you get to meet Jodie Whittaker.
You must enter by this Sunday at omaze.co.uk.
Omaze, okay, UK. We will come back to that. We will come back to that. Oh, yeah, we'll come back to you there, Jodie. Oh, yeah, 10 best Doctor Who commanders that were too ambitious for TV. Well, that's a new one. Well, let's see what they want to say. Honestly, I think the Titan Comics Doctor Who commanders were. I think the Titan Comics Doctor Who is kind of naff, weirdly, right? I just don't think it ever works. I don't know why. Like the Panini ones, like the Doctor Who magazine comics, awesome, right? And they've got their own kind of riff, right? This just never really felt it worked. So what's this? Josie Day debuts in pictures of Josie Day by George Mann and Emma Vici. So again, I've never read this. I like the Bob Dylan type cover. Believe it or not, one of the Doctor Who's best commanders was a painting. The Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor miniseries, the title incarnation finds one Josephine Josie Day in his cottage, painting cryptic pieces of art depicting alien worlds. Further inspection by the Doctor reveals that her body is full of particles created by alien species. I was like, oh, okay, it seems a bit complex, right? You know, I remember when they were talking about who was going to take over from Rose. Russell T Davies had this idea of having like I mean, this was back when he could write, but having like a Victorian scullery made, and he kind of talked himself out of it. Look, the template really is normal 20th century girl. Yeah, because that's what you really need. I mean, I get it. It's interesting to do different commands, and you can do that more in comics. But, like, I don't know, it just kind of detracts from everything, I find. So after the royal lady Josephine died, her portrait was auctioned off to an older gentleman who turned out to be the 12th Doctor. After dropping Josephine's portrait off at his cottage, she decided to live a new life as Josie in search of purpose, and that sounds just way too convoluted, frankly. Way too convoluted and way too like focusing on the companion rather than the Doctor, which is like modern Doctor Who's biggest problem, right? Gabby Gonzalez. Like, this artwork is shit. I'm sorry. This artwork is genuinely shit. I'm not interested in reading this at all. By Nika Bazas and Elna Casagrande. Like, look, there's room for comics that have this type of artwork. I just don't think Doctor Who comics is one of them. The 10th Doctor introduces Gabby Gonzalez as somebody who comes to the Doctor, coming to the Doctor's life not long after Donna Noble's exit, and she's a counting student with bigger dreams of the art life, and she works for her father's laundry. I'm bored reading this. Ironically, Gabby's encounter with 10 laundry system exposes his costume's secret origin. An alien. I can't. Just tell us straight Doctor Who story. Just tell us straight for once. Ola, she was shit. Oh my god. Cold Day in Hell. So this was who they just get rid of before Cold Day in Hell. It was. Oh. What's the name here? 1 second. Do I have a bookmark for that? Doctor Who. No. 1 second. Doctor Who magazine. Comic strips. Because it was just after a really good run. It was also a great companion. Comic stories, magazine specials, main strips. Original story. Main strips by issue. Fine. So, way before any of this, Lunar Strangers, back. Because I remember somebody left and I was like, oh no, I really like the Cold Day in Hell. Did Perry leave in that? No, Frobisher left. It was Frobisher. Right. Frobisher decided to stay on, and it was a real bummer. And they had this new character, Ola, who was shit, like a heat vampire. And then she turned out to be a baddie in the next. It was obvious. Yeah, no, that was shit, baby. That was shit. Where is this? Ola was one of the worst companions ever in the comics. You don't even have a fucking picture of her. What the hell? Like Frobisher was awesome. Arc. Again, I think this is just what pisses me off about the Titan Doctor Who comics. It just doesn't feel like Doctor Who. Whereas I feel the visual aesthetic of the English comic, it does feel that way. So ARC stands for Autonomous Reasoning Center. It's. I mean, I don't want to be too down. I haven't read it. It might be good, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound that great. And look, if the only one I recognize is Ola, and Ola was shit. Kevin the robotic Tyrannosaurus. But again, it just feels like you're being too cutesy. Why not just an attractive girl from current day London, right, or current day England? The sapling again. What is with this artwork? How do they think any of this is ever acceptable? It's really beyond me, right? It's genuinely beyond me. A virus called the planting will produce actual sap. I don't care. I'm not reading this comic. Frobisher. Yeah, Frobisher is a great coloring on this as well. Is a fantastic character, right? An alien shapeshifter who decided he liked being a penguin. He traveled. Let's look at the Wikipedia. He came back every now and again. Frobisher. Freaking love Frobisher. They did some big finish with Frobisher. Oh hell, Frobisher! Oh hell, big talking bird. Where is? Why don't they just have a list of his stories? Yeah, basically he's been around so long. He shows up every now and again at anniversaries, right? And people are generally speaking quite happy to see them. I wish there was just like a list of stories he was in. But I do like that he gets was it stuck as a penguin, and he went around with the Irish wine theme. That sounds good. Where was this? The Scarlet Empress. I even read that. The renegade Time Lord Irish wine theme has a habit of claiming that various bits of the Doctor's adventure have turned on him. Once said she had traveled with a mouthy shapeshifter companion who liked to stay in the shape of a penguin. Scarlet Empress was quite a good book, but I don't really remember that. Great cover. Let me see if we've got the cover of that here. There you go. Yeah, it really was a great cover. Paul Maggs. Anyway, back to this. Okay, that one is number 4. It's crazy, right? Anubis debuts in the Sands of Time. But not the Anubis. This version of Anubis nicknamed Newbies by an alien member of the Zion race who possessed the godlike abilities. Who did this? Justin Richards. But when was this? Is it? I think this is one of the Titan comics, right? Yeah, I think that's one of the Titan. Croton. Okay, this is another great character, right? And I love that they brought him back in the 8th Doctor run, right? I just read the first Croton story on Sabbath. It was in the Doctor Who backup strips graphic novel. Right, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's a Cyberman that like develops like emotion and human understandings. So okay, you got 2 good companions out of this, and oh god, Deathstream up me. I was happy when she left. Oh no, that's a very bad article, right? That's a very bad article. Future Doctor's huge charge of plot hole still bothers me 4 years later. Well. That's because it was shit, right? And again, it's amazing when people like finally look at it, they go, "Oh my god, this was shit," right? It's like because they just want their brains to think it was great. But yeah, this is what I call like the wheels coming off the wagon of the shooty era, right? It's just, no one's satisfied with Doctor Who right now. Right, and no matter how much they say it's the best as ever, no one's really happy with it right now. Right, it's just a gender-driven pap, and everybody knows it's a gender-driven pap, and it's not very successful. Right, Joe Martin's Doctor Who character completely shattered what I thought I understood about the Doctor's timeline. Yeah, no, that's why she wasn't the Doctor. But the confusing TARDIS style twist aside, the TARDIS created another problem with franchise canon. Everything was a problem. Because Doctor Who had been going for so long, I completely understand where there will be certain inconsistencies in the universal law. It was fine until Chibnall, frankly. With so many writers contributing to task of world building, it was fine until Chibnall. There were some things that were going to slip through the cracks. However, the only thing you can say of that would really be Mordred Undead, and there's ways to retcon that. However, some information, in my opinion, needs to remain concrete, and Christian toyed far too much with some of the greatest Doctor Who stories of all time. But here's the thing: at the time, I guarantee you that Daniel Bibby was saying it was the bestest ever, right? Because it aligned with his worldview. Daniel Bibby, staff writer. He's on Instagram. I don't want to go to his Instagram. I don't like Instagram. Oh, have a quick look. I mean, there's no obvious insanity. Maybe, who knows, or dares to dream. He's Peter Capaldi's Doctor Who character record looks impossible for any future Doctor to be. I wonder what that's about. I don't really care. Okay, don't really care. So where are we up to? Fine, yeah. They're still trying to make this shit work, and it's never going to work. But what's bothering him, right? Bothered with some of the greatest Doctor Who stories of all time. When the Fugitive Doctor made her debut back in 2020, I'm sure I wasn't alone in thinking she was the future version of the famous Time Lord. No, I thought it was just they hired her because she was a black woman. And I thought that's all the thought that went into it. Oh, it's a black woman, right? She wasn't one of the many actors who already played the Doctor, so logic would dictate she was from a later point in the timeline. The reveal of her predating with the Hartnell Doctor. Well, did she? Did they ever reveal that or not? I don't think they ever confirmed that. I think they hinted at it, but I don't think they ever flat out said, "Yeah, that's 100% what went down." Right? I don't think that's what happened. I don't know. When did it made back in 2020? Wasn't a future Doctor, but ultimately it made very little sense. Again, why do you think everybody hated it? For goodness sake. It ultimately made very little sense in more ways than one. I ultimately realized that one of these plot holes opened up around the future Doctor's blue box still hasn't been addressed. Nothing's been addressed, right? Joe Martin had future Doctor TARDIS looks like a police box. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, if she was the first Doctor, how did that happen? On several occasions, various iterations, Doctors have explained they are perplexed companions. Why it looks like from the outside 1950s police box, 1960s police box. The monologue usually comes after the signature exclamation. It's bigger on the inside. Okay, so that's the plot hole. Why the future Doctor's TARDIS wasn't properly disguised? It needs to be recognized for the unearthing scene to work. Well, yeah, yes, we know that's the point, right? But it made no sense, right? So what's his idea to fix it? Could Russell Davies, Doctor Who, fix the fugitive Doctor's TARDIS plot hole? Well, how? Doctor Who's Disney era has already touched on the timeless child storyline. Yeah, and you know what? I tried my best not to say this era was cack and it was no good, and what's the point? Right? But they kept on doing it, and I'm like, well, then once you had Shooty snogging and generally being shit as a Doctor, it was over, right? It was over by then. Russell returns as showrunner to relieve Christian Moore ahead of the Disney era. Well, not relieve. He was fired. When Davis made it clear he wouldn't retcon the divisive time of the child plot that Professor had introduced. Interestingly, his only partially true to it. Yeah, Russell Davis' incredible ability to fuck off literally everybody. Right, the Toymaker turned out to be responsible for the Doctor's broken history. Well, not really. Was a cool way of keeping the twist alive. while implying that it once wasn't canon. Yeah, but he didn't do that. Since then, beyond the occasional mention of the Doctor's revelation of a forgotten past, the Davis hasn't seemed too interested in revisiting the story. Well, because it's shit, I think. Although the future Doctor could technically return at any moment, but won't, I'll be surprised if Davis includes her in plans. Well, of course he's not going to, right? The show, unless he thinks it'll fuck everybody off, then he might go, "Oh, we're hooting! How marvelous!" So you're saying they should have used the Celestial Toymaker to fix that plot hole? Yes, I know. In fact, some of us did. I actually did use that in my story, which I had Peter Capaldi read, right? More discontentment. Lee's reading, no. Joshua Darlington says, Doctor Who must regain my trust after I saw season 14's finale in the theatre and left disappointed. That was a bad idea to sell cinema tickets to that. Yeah, I mean, like that. This is the problem, right? This is the problem. You keep promising the world, oh, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be the best it's ever. Oh, just imagine, right? It's going to be so great. And then when it comes to it, it's shit. I mean, like, again, this failed on every freaking level. It was just bad. The Scooby-Doo, do I have the Scooby-Doo image of Ncuti Gatwa dragging Sutek through? It's awful. Like, genuinely. Oh, here it is. 1 second. Let's go over here. With there you go. And it looked like this. Right? It actually genuinely, it was that stupid. Okay. It's been almost 3 months since walking out of the movie theater with my friends, and at 2 a.m, probably. Anticipated desperately awaiting for the Doctor Who season finale. So why? I mean, based on what? I mean, again, are you the sort of person who goes, "Oh, it's got gay people in it. It must be good." I mean, is there a more overrepresented group on TV right now than trans people? I don't think so, right? I mean, like, yeah, they seem very overrepresented. And gay people and gay people and trans people, very overrepresented. After watching The Legend of Ruby Sunday, I had extremely high hopes for the season's last episode, especially since season 14 marked the return of the revival showrunner Rossi Davis. Unfortunately, the screening of the finale was extremely underwhelming and disappointing. Sutek was defeated way too easily. The reveal of Ruby's mother was underwhelming, and so was the explanation of Susan Twist's story. It was awful. Oh, God, all of this failed completely. And again, narrative versus reality. The narrative is, it was fantastic. Shooting's great. Everybody loves it. Right? Reality, this is unwatchable shit. Right? And we don't realize how unwatchable it is because we generally watch things from now. Right? And now everything is unwatchable garbage. Right? And it is. The most disappointing I thought was the reveal of Ruby's mother. Despite months of investment of the loyal viewership and clues that Ruby is more than meets the eye. I mean, like, how did that all snow shit happen? The final reveal that Ruby's mom was perfectly normal human woman named Louise Miller. The revelation had completely broken the trust as a series. As months of, and again, for me, it was all the gay shit, right? But again, you can't write anything good when you're just concentrating on doing gay shit. Exhibit A, right? This is what we see. So much of Doctor Who season 14's finale was an anti-climax after so much hope. Yes, yeah, and sometimes you fuck people over so much that even all the hypnosis in the world doesn't work. Which is why I think it's going to happen with the US election. It was such a shit idea. And look at this. Just look at it. It looks so shit. And like, why? Oh, God, all of it was shit. Can't stand Kate Blanchett Stewart. Please eat Lenny Rush. I thought the silence was way better. Yeah, this is all just garbage. But Millie Gibson, always hot, right? Always super duper hot. But now she's gonna put a leash on him, and the ancient Egyptian god can't really do much about that. The funny has so much to cover, and it wouldn't have been possible to give everything a satisfying ending. Well, actually, it would have been had you written it properly. Despite twists involving Ruby's mother being one of the finale's biggest disappointments, I was also let down by an explanation of Susan Twist's character. Throughout the 14th season, she kept appearing throughout time and space, following the Doctor and Ruby on their adventures. I've been wondering for 2 months who Susan Twist will be playing, and when she was following the Doctor, and why she was one of the finale. The reveal was that she's merely a pawn in the pawn of Sutek, the god of death. If only it was that entertaining, but it wasn't. The reveal of Sutek as the one who waits was a brilliant revelation. How? It was just stupid. However, as someone the Doctor has been fearing for months, was defeated very easily. Even again, there's no stakes to any of this. It's all just stupid. Really, really, it is just dumb. Although he's one of the most powerful villains the Doctor has faced, as he killed almost every human in existence. Once he was dragged through the time vortex, all his work was undone, weakening the stakes of the episode. It just feels as the stakes of the finale could have been high. Again, they were just interested in having a stunning and brave black and gay Ncuti Gatwa, right? That's why the writing is for shit, right? That's all they cared about. The reveal of Ruby make no sense. Well, I'm glad you noticed. Like, and again, that the hype notice is failing is very good news, I think. Very good news for everyone. Unfortunately, the reveal of Ruby's mother being a regular woman opens Doctor Who to even more questions than answers. The family revelation makes no sense in terms of the show, as Ruby was able to defeat Maestro, the god of music, and the Devil's Chord. I wasn't paying that much attention. She had a secret song buried within her. And she was able to make it start randomly snowing in multiple episodes of season 14. Both these acts suggest that Ruby cannot be a regular human, but she is, and she must be some kind of supernatural or extraterrestrial history. Well, I guess we don't know who her father is, but like they build it up and they build it up and they build it up and it went nowhere. A big mystery since Christmas Day 2023, the identity of Ruby Sunday's mother. Sunday's next door neighbor, Mrs. Flood, have been mysterious since her first appearance, leading to multiple fourth wall breaks. Can't stand that. Where she talks to the audience, clearly knowing more than she's letting on. It's clear that Mrs. Flood knows more about the Doctor and his TARDIS. According to the final scene of the 14th season, that she shows how the Doctor story will end in terror. Well, God, I mean, I can't imagine being more scared than I was of seeing Rogue. We still don't know who Mrs. Flood is. You know Rogue's going to come in to save the day against Mrs. Flood, right? And it seems that it will be a while till we get some answers. Yeah, that'll be a problem if I cared, but nobody cares. Bottom line, nobody cares. This is a disappointing conclusion to Doctor Who season 14 has broken the unspoken contract between the audience and showrunner. Since Christmas Day 2023, the audience have been anxiously waiting the identity of Ruby Sunday's mother, and the revelation didn't pay off. Personally, I feel that I've wasted time and investment in the storyline for a poor conclusion. Well, you did, right? But again, this is what happens when you're woke as fuck. It just is. It's unbelievable, but it always is. But I feel I'm wasting my time for conclusion. So, with any hope, the search for Ruby Sunday's mother isn't over. Well, it is over. And they've had a sort of tricky trick by the Pantheon God. No, this is real. Rusty Davis thought he had the bestest ideas ever, and he didn't. He was too arrogant to go, oh, is this shit? Right? And that's really what it is. He was way too arrogant. Oh, God. And then you had the same thing with the Jodie Whittaker era. Right? Do you remember before episodes debuted? That arrogance, the strutting arrogance everywhere. Oh, we're going to be great. And they just think you slap Doctor Who's name on anything, it becomes good. And then they get mad at you when you don't want to win it. Like Kevin Feige says, I put Ghostbusters on something. It must be Donald Trump. That's the only reason nobody liked it. Right? These people just make me crazy. No, it is over. The hunt for Ruby Sunday's mother is over. Even though Doctor Who Season 14 has to increase the stakes, well, again, it's not a question of increasing the stakes. It's got to deliver. And there's no chance it's going to deliver, right? The reason Season 14 didn't deliver is because Russell T Davies' antenna is completely off. Right? His finger is completely off the pulse, right? Of the country, and it used to be completely on, right? And so he made 2 years worth of creative decisions. All of them shit, right? I'm sorry, Queer Doctor Who was a complete failure, right? Again, what group is more represented than the queer now on TV, right? Everywhere, all the time. Like relentless queerness. Future Doctor Who Season 15 confirmation cut. No, it's not been confirmed. Oh, 15 has. I'll take it back. 16 has it. Shooting Goes next multiverse has a unique problem. They all got, man, you give me a headache. Right? They've all got unique problems. Well, the foremost, there's a video. I'm not watching that. What's the foremost iconic ones? I really want the Doctor to finally use one storyline. It's already teased me once. Fine. Let's see what this is. Future regeneration. Not really. You can do a possible one, right? Yeah, not really. You get a possible future regeneration. That would be cool. There's lots of ways you can bring in, different doctors to be Doctor, to do the Doctor Who stuff. Is the agency of Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton, second share screen, doink. That's it. Yeah, we go. Fine. So Zachary Levi, I'm really impressed with, right? The guy who played Chuck and who else? Captain the Shazam. Well, he was one of the Warriors 3 in the Marvel in the Thor movies. But he was under so much makeup, you wouldn't recognize him. So he's putting his support behind Trump. And I think because he's a big RFK fan. I have to tell you, I think the conglomeration, right, of RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, and Trump, I mean, all these anti-establishment people, it's one of the most exciting things I've seen to happen in politics, right? Genuinely, I think it's very cool. Will Wheaton, of course, Will Wheaton is a useless cuck who tries to be as woke as humanly possible, and he's always got that smug smile because he just seems like a loser to me. Will Wheaton, Star Trek universe. Oh, shut up, Wesley. Made his feelings known about Zachary Levi endorsing Donald Trump at a rally over the past weekend. How evil! Like, for fuck's sake, you dumb idiots. Really? Really? It's like, maybe you have your heads up your own asses. Have you not noticed the economy? By the way, you know what the reason they keep saying the FBI statistics for crime are down right now? And this blows my mind. It's because in 2022, they changed the way they collect crime statistics, and about 25% of the police forces across America have not updated their systems. So there are 25% less crimes being reported than are actually going on. And that's why I say, oh, well, crime stats are down. Again, I'm sitting in a fucking air raid shelter during a missile attack. That didn't happen in Donald Trump's era, mate. I'm sorry, right? Let's get real. Whether you saw it coming a mile away or found yourself shocked by these, why would you be shocked? Right? Again, you build up Donald Trump to be this ridiculous cartoon villain where in reality we had the best economy of our lives and world peace, right? As compared to now, which is absolute disaster. And look, come on. literally everything that comes out of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's mouth is just complete fakery, and everybody can see it's fakery. Right? I was raised a middle class by a middle class woman. Can I find that? Help me see if I can find that. What was it? Kamala Harris, middle class. And it wasn't middle class. That's the thing. That's it. Like, whatever question she's asked, she always goes back to, I was raised a middle class, and it's not middle class at all. Oh, this is it. Let me grab. Hang on. This is if you haven't seen this, this is really worth watching. Absolutely mind-blowing. Like, every question. And that's if she answers questions. There was a great joke by, who was it? Libby Eben's son. I don't want to give him credit for it. I have no idea how old he is, but he's Libby Evans is somebody on the occasionally on the Tim Pool show. The joke is, knock knock, who's there? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris who? We're not taking any questions. Terrorists will be Irish next. I know. Anyway, star of the Chop by the News, Harold and the Purple Crayon star Zachary Levi. What about Shazam and Chuck? Made it clear during the campaign rally of the past weekend, after his first pick, Rod F. Kennedy dropped out of his run for the White House. You mean after he was forced out somewhat illegally by Biden, only for himself to be forced out, right? By the Democrat Party. I'm telling you, by the time they get the election, they're going to wish they stuck with Biden. I think Harris is going to be such a disaster. I mean, her long implosion is really starting right now. The dock workers on strike, like literally, that's like punching the economy in the face 35 days before the election. That means when you get to election day, you won't be able to get stuff. There'll be shortages. Man. And you have this hurricane, which he didn't do anything about, and Trump went down there. Anyway, but he's still a villain. And I know RFK is going to be great in a Trump presidency. He's dealing with health issues, right, and corruption in the in the three-letter agencies. He's going to be fantastic. I'm surprised he hasn't been assassinated himself yet. So again, dropped it in the White House. He endorsed the ex-reality show host, and also the far, far superior president, multi-impeached ex-POTUS. And how's those impeachments go? They all crashed and burned, didn't they? And convicted felon. The only reason they made up all the lawfare was so they could say convicted felon. And it looks like those convictions are going to be quashed as well, right? And amazingly, all those things, again, who's running this? Who's got Trump derangement system? Trump derangement syndrome. Who's the Ray Flook? Yeah, I know you keep saying all this, but equally, best economy of our lives and world peace. And the convicted felon, really, the person who was convicted is the New York judiciary more than anybody else. Leading through his box office might behind Donald Trump. We're here to make sure we're going to take back this country. And we're going to make it get great again. We're going to make it healthy again. Yeah, I really think they will. And so I stand with Bobby. I stand with Tulsi. I think Tulsi Gabbard's great. I stand with everybody else who is standing with President Trump. President Trump is the man. And you know what? Zachary Levi is smart, because 6 months from now, he's going to be in a good position. President Trump is the man that can get us there. Levy shared near the end of his speech on Saturday. And he's going to get us there because he's going to have the backing and support and the wisdom and the knowledge and the fight that exists in RFK Jr. And former Representative Tulsi Gabbard. Incredibly smart alliances to make, right? So Will Wheaton goes, I think that's literally what he did. Reactions were split down the middle between folks who were surprised and those posting receipts to know why they were not surprised. Yeah, that he wasn't on board for the lockdowns and the forced vaccinations. I agree with him. So does most of the world, actually. Unfortunately for a lot of fans, The surprise was followed by disappointment in someone that they've come. Jesus fucking Christ! They come to be fans of his work on Chuck and films like Shazam. One person took to social media to share his feelings. Poor little Will Wheaton, still living off a job he got how many years ago now? Was it 86, 96, 2006, 2000? Okay, about 40 years ago, literally still living off that same job. Who took to Facebook to reaffirm the core principle that the nerd community needs to be a place that all feel welcoming and no one is made to feel lesser. Well, what about people who vote for Trump? It doesn't sound like you're trying to be welcoming to them or make anyone feel lesser. Yeah, people like you, Will Wheaton, you are fascist cunts, right? You are exactly the thing that you say you abhor. Like again, why should somebody be made to be othered because they have a different political view and a political view based on reality, right? Something I love about our nerd community is how welcoming and diverse we are. No, you don't. You don't like straight white people, right? We are a safe place for everyone who has been othered. What you mean, like Christians, right? Is it a safe place for Christians and people who believe in God? No, it's a very unsafe place for them. We are a safe place for the vulnerable people. Why are you vulnerable? Right? Again, why is the LGBTQIA plus, who is completely culturally dominant, vulnerable in any way, shape, or form? Right? Why? I don't think it is. I think you're telling Bubbermeisters. I think you're making, and I think you believe it because you're fucking nuts, mate. Right? You're absolutely barkingly insane. A safe place for the vulnerable people to come to. I'd love to have to ask these questions. Like, again, why isn't it a safe place for Christians? Right? Safe that one and the wonderful nerdy stuff we love. Apart from if you have a different worldview, then fuck off out of it, Wheaton says. Wheaton shared before, shifting the focus and leaving. With that in mind, I think it's pretty important for anybody who supports Nerd HQ, what's Nerd HQ, knows who and what they're supporting. What a disappointment and what a disgrace. How disgusting. Explain yourself, you little bigoted cunt. All right, you little bigoted loser cunt. Explain yourself. What about the 70 million people plus who like Donald Trump, right? How is it disgusting? How are they a disgrace? Explain yourself, you cunt, right? And then Post Wheaton also clarifies that safe spaces can't exist if those who continue to make others feel unsafe, like you, right, are allowed to be part. Get them out! What's the word? Not exclude. Not exclude. Exile! Exiles are non-conformities! Exile! Okay, dude, you're a fascist. You are a fascist cunt. And the rights of the individuals are not up for debate. Again, why is the right of a Christian baker to say, I don't want to bake a cake? Why isn't he allowed that right? But for you, no, that's all fine. Quick edit here, gently pointing out that anyone who's not aware of it, to the paradox of tolerance. A place is not safe if you can't keep people out of the... Man, what a gatekeeping cunt. Keep out the people who would make it unsafe. You're it! You're the person. I'm so glad that you are losing the culture war, right? I am so fucking glad that you are... Because everything that your side of the aisle, your side, on the right side of history, it's all a failure. Everything that is woke turns to shit. I mean, I think that's a constant truism. I think it's been tested by science, right? Here, I think we have a scientific interlude that will explain this right here.
Everything woke turns to shit. Okay, it's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.
And they don't come much woker than Will Wheaton. Right? If you can't keep people who would make it unsafe, that includes non-physical safety. Again, what about religious Jews? You cunts are all anti-Semites. You keep screaming from the river to see Palestine must be true. You keep screaming there's a genocide going on in Gaza. You lying piece of cunt. You blind piece of shit. No, there's not. Excuse me. The civilian casualties incurred by Britain in Desert Storm and caused by Britain in Desert Storm and America are, I think, 8 times greater than Israel, but that wasn't a genocide. And have you noticed, right? It's been, 6 months, maybe more, that they at the first couple of months, they kept saying 40,000 people dead. Oh, no. I mean, 20,000 of them are Hamas. Oh, no, 40,000. But they want that number to keep going up, and it hasn't, right? But I thought you said it was a genocide. And the fundamental human rights are not a matter of opinion. What about Christians? Do you not give them human rights? No, you don't. Because you're an idiot, fascist, brainless cunt. Right? Idiot, fascist, brainless cunt. I think that's a fair explanation for a fair description of young Will Wheaton. Right? I'm going to wrap up in a minute. Now we seem to be no longer under missile attack. I have synagogue starting in 1 hour, but who knows if that's going to happen. Before I go, I want to talk a bit about Megalopolis. I can't give a full review yet because I've only seen 45 minutes of it. Somebody sent me a copy, like a screener copy, and I'm very torn about it, right? Because there's a lot that's fan-freaking-tastic about it. Like, absolutely fan. It looks beautiful. It's interesting. It's confusing. It's a bit bizarre. And it has just great performance after great performance. Not least, but I would say the star right now, the first 40 minutes anyway, is Nathalie Emmanuel, right? Who is stunning in this. Oh, my God. Yeah, let me see if there's any pictures of her from. I mean, she is just incredible. Nathalie Emmanuel, Megalopolis. I mean, like, and here's the thing: I'm not that turned on by her. I'm just like, she's so beautiful, right? She's just so insanely, intensely beautiful, and she's doing this great American accent, all the way through it, and she genuinely. Just excellent. Here, let's do any screen grabs from this movie. Honestly, this woman genuinely deserves to be a huge star, and she does have her tits out for quite a fair bit of the first the first 40 minutes. Somewhere here, there you go. It just looks fantastic, right? It looks absolutely stunningly fantastic. Here's another picture, I think, which is, again, I think she looks better with her clothes on, quite frankly, even though it doesn't look bad with her clothes off. So, like, I'm watching the movie and, like, I can't take my eyes off her because she's so gorgeous, right? She's just so stunningly gorgeous. And, again, doing a great job. Also in it is the American treasure, Aubrey Plaza. Also fantastic, right? Absolutely fantastic. Lawrence Fishburne's in it. What's his name? The guy from Breaking Bad. Giancarlo Esposito. Adam Driver's in it, but is it a good performance? I'm not really sure. John Voight's in it. Jason Schwartzman playing, basically, I think, does it at the same thing time. Haven't seen Dustin Hoffman yet. So that's everyone. Now, they said this movie was impossible to market, but it's really not. It's set in an alternate reality where Rome never fell, and was it Rabbi reports of one dead, the irony being that the Palestinian originally were from Gaza. Really? That's terrible. Hopefully we have a missile-free Russia. Well, me too. So where it's a reality where Rome never fell, but it wasn't real Rome. It was the Rome of, like, antiquity, of the classics, right? Where you have monsters and things like that, and they transpose that into a modern day setting. So all that, again, very interesting. Where does this fail is it's absolutely awful. Sadly, it's just like, it's epically badly written, right? It's so bizarrely, like, all these creative choices, just none of them work and none of them make any sense. This is going to be one of those epic, awful movies like Tommy Wiseau's The Room, right? It's going to be a cult movie because again, the money put into this, it looks stunning. The performances are fantastic, but the actual movie is breathtakingly shit, right? Just breathtakingly, insanely shit. That is kind of similar to. I think you can put this on, in the same box that you put in Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, right? And I watched the full director's cut of the first part of that, and again the same problem. Like with that, the great ideas, great visuals, terrible script. If Zack Snyder had tied himself to the Grant Morrison, right? Make Grant Morrison his writer. That would have really he would have been able to make it work. This is just awful line after awful line of dialogue after awful line of dialogue, delivered fantastically. Like, was it Nathalie Emmanuel again? Not just beautiful. Oh my God, so stunning. I really can't overplay how stunning she is. She is breathtakingly stunning, right? She is. It's kind of like you kind of gasp when you see her. Like, oh, I can't believe any woman is that beautiful, and she is. She's just so insanely hot in this. And also Aubrey Plaza with blonde hair, which is kind of weird. I want to. I got to finish watching this so I can give it a full review. But again, I can only get through about 45 minutes of it. I was like, So then I started watching Penguin episode 2, and I got about 30 minutes into that and fell asleep. Right? Stunning spank back material, says Bobby D. Central. You are absolutely correct. Right? Absolutely correct. But so I watched 30 minutes of that and fell asleep. Look, here's the thing. It's just like. I could see why Colin Farrell is loving the role. He gets to play somebody who's not insanely hot, and charismatic. Just like he gets to look like a normal schlump like this. Like for Colin Farrell to look like me, he's like, oh, it's great, mate. Look. Can I look like you for a bit, Colin Farrell? Right? We'll swap. I mean, like, I don't think good-looking people should be able to make money looking. I think it's cultural appropriation, looking for like a fat piece of shit like me. Right, so I'm a bit. So I understand why he's playing it, but it's not Batman at all. It's not saying Gotham. I felt was much more in the Batman universe. This doesn't feel like Batman. It feels like a cut price Sopranos, frankly. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.